Well, we have with us here this afternoon Larry Oelke and Paul Rauch, both from Marsden. And gentlemen, we're talking about a treatment on the terrazzo floor. What is that treatment? Could you tell me, please?
Yes, the treatment would be to remove all the existing floor finish that is on the terrazzo and potentially grind at a 200 grit just to remove any dimples or blemishes that are underneath the floor finish that's currently down. And then we would follow with the process called the Trizac system, which at that point we could either do medium grit or fine grit, and then we put down a product. Well, we burnish it first with a purple pad, which is diamond encrusted. Then we put down the product called Stone Protector. And what that is intensifier, and it absorbs down into the concrete and the pores of the floor. Then we would follow that with another burnish with a purple pad, put down a second coat of that, and then burnish again with the purple pad. The ongoing maintenance at that point is just to burnish the hallways.
How frequently would we burnish the hallways, Paul?
Okay. My recommendation, being a school and being Minnesota, would be over the winter months when it's wet, I would say once a week. During the dry months, we could probably look at once a month. You'll be able to kind of judge that for yourself based on how the floor is tracking. But for the most part, even in high traffic buildings that we've put this down, it's like once a month.
You're putting down a 3M product, am I right?
That is correct.
And that product is going to keep the floor looking shiny and new,
yes,
for a much longer period of time than traditional wax.
Correct. The recommendation from 3M is annually take a look at the floor, and you may need to put another coat of the Stone Protector, but there's nothing to strip off, nothing to scrub off. So the process of doing this entire building would be maybe the course of 2 nights to put down the Stone Protector and burnish it.
Cost approximately per square foot. You could give us a quote for Truman, but about how much per square foot?
Well, currently our price is $1.85 a square foot.
Okay.
Now, we're going to have to incorporate some travel time and stuff like that into the cost here. The ongoing maintenance on an annual basis, the payback is about 1.6 years, according to the calculations we've done with some of the towers, some of the businesses that we've done this in.
When you say the payback, you're talking about comparing this treatment to what we're currently doing.
Correct.
And stripping it and putting new wax on. What is the cost estimate per square foot for the traditional?
Okay, it's based on the typical cycle is 2 to 3 scrub and recoats a year, and then a strip and wax annually.
Okay.
So you're talking about 4 processes annually. So and that's what it's based off of. I can provide you with payback analysis based on the program that you have currently here.
Yes.
All I would need to know is exactly what your program is here. If during Christmas break you put it on another coat of wax, during spring break if you put down another coat of wax, how often you're doing that. And then also the schedule of, I don't know if it's being burnished right now or not. According to the conversation we had, you don't think there's a burnisher in here, so I would say it's not being done. So the end result of the entire process is that your maintenance is much easier. The annual process of maintaining this floor is much less labor intense than what it would be if you stayed with traditional wax.
And you're going to have a sharper looking floor throughout the year.
Absolutely. The nice thing about this is it's not a topical coating, so you're going to be getting the natural floor characteristics reflecting the light. Like right now, as you look down the hall, all that you see down there is from the floor finish.
Yes.
And what you're going to have is you're going to have that same effect, but it's going to be a deeper gloss because it's directly from the floor as opposed to the floor finish. The other advantage is you're not going to get scratches on the floor. You will if somebody drags like an anvil across the floor, but that's just because that's going to happen regardless of whether it's solid concrete or a floor finish. But the floor will be more resistant to that kind of situation.
The annual treatment, when you come back and put another coating on here, you just keep doing that year after year after year?
Yes. At some point, you may need to look at doing the fine polish or honing
Okay.
part of it. And that is going to be predicated on how the floor, if you start getting some pitting and some surface imperfections, then you may need to go back to doing the fine process before you put down another coat of the stone protector.
Okay.
But the fine process is something that can be done in-house. It's fairly simple. Once you get it to the point where it's maintainable, any of these situations are pretty easy to rectify in-house. It's just a matter of having the products and a swing machine is all you really need to do small sections, but it's also just the training on how to do the process.
The product from 3M that's going onto the floor, it's going into the pores of the terrazzo?
Correct.
In terms of those front doors, people are walking in, salt and sand on their feet in the winter. We're going to need to do something special there at the entry areas?
My recommendation for any entryway, especially in the winter, tracking in salt, is at least 15 steps of walk-off mat.
Keep as much of it at the doorway as possible.
Correct. And the slip coefficient testing that we've done rate higher than any floor finish that we've come across.
Okay.
So we did the slip bot testing wet and came up with a better slip coefficient than the wax that was on the floor. So.
Very good. Thank you, gentlemen.